Hey, my name's James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We had a bit of good news yesterday evening with the ceasefire in the Middle East, but things have changed already significantly. The Strait of Hormuz is now closed again, and this is really giving some dilemmas to lenders at the moment. Should they start bringing mortgage rates down? What are the bank's expectations at the Bank of England? Are they expecting things to actually now improve? Is this inflation going to go up, or is it going to stay as it is? Is it a short-term thing? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about what you can expect from interest rates, what you can expect from mortgage rates, and what you should do if you're looking to borrow some money at the moment. But before we jump into that, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do subscribe to my channel over there and hit that bell notification. Join over 50,000 subscribers who get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, property investing tips, and much, much more. And if you could help me get some views on this video, that would be awesome. Your part in that is simple. All you need to do is smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really does help the channel grow. So thanks to everybody that does that. So, what a crazy few days we've had. We've had Donald Trump threatening to blow up an entire civilization a couple of days ago. Then he backtracked on that late last night, and a ceasefire was announced. Now, this is fairly positive at the moment, at the time of recording this, because oil dropped significantly. More importantly, less people are getting injured because there are still missiles being fired from various different places. But yeah, if we can have some sort of de-escalation, that is a win for a lot of people, of course. So oil has dropped, and that is really good for inflation. It's really good for your costs. But here's the problem. I went to work this morning and the petrol's more expensive than yesterday because there's a little bit of a lag, and all the energy that's been bought has been bought at this higher cost, and we're unlikely to see those costs reduced to us anytime soon. Now, it's interesting, when the oil price goes up, they increase the price very quickly, and when it goes down, it doesn't seem to come down quite as fast. And so that is the dilemma at the moment, because you've got a few problems here. Energy costs, while they have come down, we're unlikely to see those costs drop for a few weeks or a few months. And so we are going to have higher costs for some time. More importantly, is this ceasefire even going to last? Because at the time of recording this, Iran has now closed the Strait of Hormuz again. They said that the deal has to include Lebanon not getting fired on, and there is missiles going over in Lebanon. And so they're saying until everything that we agree to is approved, we're keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed. Not great. So we're kind of going back into a difficult situation here, and that gives a lot of volatility at the moment. And so lenders, they borrow their money on the SONIA swap rate. So that's based off a forecast of where the Bank of England is going to go, and that's got a lot more expensive over the last few weeks. Let's have a quick look at deals and where we're at with that. So 2-year deals at the moment have gone up since the war. Before the war, they were at 4.83 average rate, and that jumped up to all the way to 5.90. So we're nearly back at 6% interest rates, and that still stands right now. That's where we're at right now. 5-year deals as well, they jumped significantly. So they went from 4.95% up to 5.78%. So big jumps. In fact, I've got a deal going through at the moment, and my broker has said that lender is increasing rates tomorrow. So even with the news that came out this morning of the ceasefire, they still intend to increase their rates tomorrow. So I had to get that sorted pretty quickly. So that's what we're going to start seeing, is more uncertainty at the moment. And so while there's more uncertainty, you can't predict whether rates are going to go up or down, really. And so the Bank of England, only a month ago, was going to cut rates and we were going to go down to 3.5%. Then at one point, we had a forecast that we would have 4 interest rate rises in 2026. That dropped down to around 2. And now we're waiting on the markets to really digest what they feel is going to happen. There's no point really speculating on that. I think it needs a week or so for this to bed in. Does some negotiations start happening or not? Or does now the Strait of Hormuz is now shut again? Does that oil shoot up again? That could be a real problem. So even if all of this stuff does end, let's just say the ceasefire sticks, then we've still got to contend with the bigger problem for rates, and that's inflation. So whatever happens, some damage has been done by this, right? There is some damage done to the global economy by this. Energy has been higher for 4 or 5 weeks now, and that is likely to, even if everything ends, to stay higher for 3 or 4 months longer. So that is going to hit the inflation figures. So inflation is going to tick up, and that means the Bank of England are unlikely to cut rates again. Now, if things go well, if we do get a ceasefire, if we do get prolonged talks, what that does is take rate increases off the table. So that's a win there. And if that happens, and then we know the Bank of England is going to stick at the 3.75 that we're at the moment, what you'll then likely see in 4 or 5 weeks from now is the SONIA swap rate start to drop. It did go down a smidge over the last few days, and the SONIA swap is the rate that your bank borrows at. And that is their prediction on when the Bank of England will next cut interest rates. So if that starts moving downwards, if we see that moving down a smidge, then you might start seeing some lenders cut rates and start passing that on to you. But I don't think you're going to get any of that for at least 4 or 5 weeks, even if this ceasefire holds and even if things don't get any worse in the next few weeks. So that's what you need to wait for at the moment. Now, what if you have a mortgage that expires fairly soon? Well, I would get on the phone to your broker right away, get a deal fixed, right? So if you've got a deal that expires in the next 6 months, you can get a deal fixed today. By doing that, you get your worst case scenario. So let's just say you get a deal and it's 5.5%. And you think, you know what, that's high. I don't want to do that. But at least that gives you your worst case scenario. Because let's just say this war carries on, energy costs go up and rates go up. The rate could go up to 6%. So you've got your worst case scenario. Now, if rates do go down because the ceasefire holds, energy costs go down, inflation starts dropping again, then you can swap onto a better rate before you start your new deal. It's all about getting yourself that certainty and locking in a rate as quickly as you can. So things will change by the time you watch this. Maybe the Strait of Hormuz is open, closed, open, closed. That's the unpredictability of Donald Trump. And that's what the markets are trying to deal with at the moment. And it really is making things very, very hard. And that's already starting to hit property transactions in the UK. House prices are already down, according to the latest Halifax data as well, 0.5% in a month. And I think you could see a bit more of this going forward. Let me know what you think will happen in the comments below. And I want to get the word out to stop you getting a big fine if you're a landlord. Do grab a copy of the Renters' Rights information sheet. It's in the description. It's in the first comment. Do make sure you like the video and subscribe, and check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.